Hello, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin, and I'm the author of Heal Yourself, A Return to Wholeness, the integration of body, mind, soul, and spirit. All of my books are available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do readings, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings, twin flame romance, general readings, life path and purpose. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. Welcome to the Heal Yourself, A Return to Wholeness, the integration of body, mind, soul, and spirit series that I'm doing here on my channel. And today we're going to talk about why learning about and understanding duality is important in your spiritual awakening journey and also your healing journey. So we're going to talk about the concept of duality. Now, if you are new to spiritual concepts, this is more Eastern philosophy thought, right? This comes from the tradition of Taoism with yin and yang. It comes from the tradition of Vedanta from India. So this is more Eastern philosophical concepts that I'm addressing here. So here we go with the nature of duality, which is addressed in this book as well. So the nature of duality says that everything in the physical realm has its opposites. Day, night, light, dark, good, bad, right? Even boy, girl. So we're talking about everything that has its opposites. Now, as long as you live in the physical realm, you are experiencing the law of duality. And there really is no way that we can circumvent the law of duality as long as we are living in the physical world. Let me explain to you. Have you ever had an amazing day, a fantastic day, a day where you were elated and feeling on top of the world? You were just like, this is the best day ever. And then at the end of the day, before you went to sleep, a thought came into your mind and it's like, oh no, I don't want this day to end. Why did you have that thought? It's because you know on some level that if you have really good days, it's likely you will also have very bad days because we live in the world of opposites. We live in the world of polarity. When you are really, really feeling sick with a cold or flu, you know that you're gonna get well because you've had colds and flus before. So you understand that there is sickness and there is wellness. So they live on opposite ends of the spectrum, but you've experienced both, so you understand the nature of duality. Now, we need to understand the nature of duality to learn to accept that we live in the physical world, and in the physical world, we are going to experience life's opposites. A lot of people come to the spiritual journey or come to a healing journey or come to therapy even, and they are upset because of the law of duality. They come to these concepts with like, well, why did I get my heart broken in romance? I don't understand this. I don't understand why I had to go through a breakup, a divorce, heartache, sorrow. Somebody hurt my heart. And then they spend years and years and years and years processing the emotions that are associated with a breakup, a divorce, a broken heart. Now, the sooner you learn to accept the law of duality, you will learn to accept that like heartbreak, sorrow, breakups, divorce is just a part of the duality of life. It's not necessarily personal to you specifically. It's just that's the way life goes. Sometimes you have a great relationship and that relationship stays for years and years and years. And sometimes you have a really great relationship that lasts for a year or two and then it breaks up and you're alone. So when we understand the nature of duality in the physical world, we learn not to become so attached to one end of the spectrum. The same goes if you are experiencing a period of depression. If you've ever experienced a depressive state, then it can be harsh, really harsh. And the mind in the depressive state thinks that it's never going to get out of the depressive state. However, there is an opposition to the depressive state, and that is a happy or a joyful or serene mindset. And just like you can't get stuck in depression, you cannot get stuck in happy, joyful, peaceful, and serene either. So it's in understanding the law of opposites that we can live our lives in a much more mediated fashion, meaning something in the middle, something where we have our internal mediator, our internal judge that says, hey, when things are really bad, they're going to get better. When things are really good, they might not be so good for so long. And it doesn't mean that you can't experience the emotional highs and lows of life, because I would say don't temper your joy when you're joyful, and don't try to ignore your depression when you're depressed or sad or angry or upset. Because the only way to experience life to the fullest is to fully immerse yourself in life completely and not staying in the middle ground of this emotional apathy where you're not feeling anything. That's not what this is about. I want you to make sure that you understand that concept. But what it does do when you understand the nature of duality and you're on the spiritual journey and you become the observer, which is something that we talk about in my meditation course, and the link is below if you'd like to join that. But when you become the observer, you don't become so entangled in the drama of the highs and lows of life. So when something feels fantastic, amazing, and you are so incredibly elated, you are in it. You're completely in that aspect of life. But at the same time, your gentle observer is going, enjoy this while it lasts, live in the present moment while it lasts. But just know that the ebb and flow of life is a constant. And the same thing goes when things aren't going so well and you are not feeling so great and you might have lost your job and you are down in just feeling horrible about yourself. You have that objective observer that is sitting there going, it feels really crappy right now. Feel your feelings and feel into the moment right now, but just know that that's a temporary state and it will swing back toward the middle and maybe to the other side. There's an ancient Vedic saying that I may have quoted in this book. I certainly quoted it in my book, The Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda, an easy guide to a healthy lifestyle. And it was first quoted to me by my teacher, Dr. Deepak Chopra. And that quote from an ancient Vedic saying is, life is a river between the banks of pain and pleasure. We will bump into both sides, but the idea is not to get too stuck on one of the river's banks for too long. And that is to say that you're on the river of life, in between the banks of pleasure and pain, duality, and you will bump into both sides of duality. But the idea is not to get stuck on one side of duality for too long. And once you really grasp this, you will be able to step out of the drama of life, not take yourself so seriously, not take your life so seriously, not take other people so seriously, because that removes the joy from your life. When you get stuck on a notion, on a concept, when you get stuck on how things should be when they're not, we become filled with anguish and anxiety. And you only have to look around to you to see how many people live in anxiety. And that's really about not accepting the first principle that we live in the world of duality. We live in the world of opposites. We can't always have everything good and what we expect all the time. That's just not the way things are. That's not the way things go. And that's not what we're here to learn. Because if you think about it, one of the reasons why we live in the world of opposites, we live in the nature of duality, is because when things are going very, very well, you have a tendency not to grow. Because you're just in the flow of life. You're in the ease of life. You're like, my life's pretty good right now. I really don't have to do much. And it's when we hit the opposite end, where things are a struggle, that we tend to grow the most. And so we need to understand this and enjoy both ends and have enjoyment from both ends, enjoying the struggles and enjoying the ease. And then you can truly begin to live an awakened life and a healed life. So I hope this was helpful to you on your spiritual journey. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with others who could use help along their spiritual journey. And thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can join my meditation course. The link is below. You can buy one of my 10 published books. And I will see you in the next video.